So without further ado, I wanted to jump right into a live poll question. So what is the most important part of a strong ethics and compliance program? All right, we have a clear winner at the top here for clear rules and policies, which is probably my personal favorite, but I wanted to get with our panelists here and get some insights from them. So, Cheryl, I wanted to start with you. What do you see as the non-negotiable core elements of an effective ethics and compliance program?
For us, of the elements that you had listed for the poll question, we had to start from the very beginning. We had to start with what are the risks for our company, and then we had to start doing risk assessments. And so we knew that we were contacting farmers. We knew that we had a large commercial operation. We knew that we were operating in a very global environment. And because of that, we had to start with identifying our key risk and the risk assessment. And then we had to do, I think that was number 2, we had to develop our code of conduct and all the employee policies. So that was a critical piece for us that was non-negotiable. We had to figure out a way to communicate to our employees what was acceptable behavior in the workplace and what was unacceptable behavior in the workplace. And then I see number 2 on the poll was support from leadership. Once we developed and understood our risks, once we had clear rules and policies established to launch our new company, then we had to figure out a way to get buy-in from the leadership because we were all brand new to this agriculture company. And so the way that we started with support from leadership is to have a governance structure. And so the governance structure for us is a subset of our executive leadership team, but we review our program with them on a quarterly basis. And that has helped to gain buy-in for our program and our initiatives, and also help us to determine what we're going to communicate to our board of directors. So that those 3 things, identifying our key risk and risk assessments, having clear rules and policies was important for us, and then getting buy-in from our leadership was the 3rd key non-negotiable for us starting a brand new company 6 years ago. Olaf, Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Meredith and Cheryl. Without going back over what Cheryl had talked about, obviously clear rules and policies, right? But there's a couple things that I had written down, kind of more practical things in my mind. You have to have collaboration with the other enabling functions. Enabling functions, I'm talking about HR, finance, travel, marketing, procurement. You know, starting off with relationships with those people, introducing yourself, because all of those functions are going to affect what you're trying to do when you're running your compliance program. The second thing I have, and I have 3 things. The second thing I have is benchmarking, right? Benchmarking is, I mean, you can think you have the absolute best program in the world, and then you compare it against companies or industries outside of your company and find out, wow, this really sucks. Pardon my language, but so benchmarking is a very important part, and for us, misconduct trend analysis. In other words, we on a quarterly basis look at our whistleblower cases, and we look at them and we say we do it with our ethics committee on a quarterly basis, and we look at what happened. The reason it happened, where it happened, those types of things. And we use those trends to then modify our compliance training, to modify our code of conduct, to modify our policies and our communications, so that we can hopefully make people aware that, hey, if you do this, you're probably going to get caught, and you're probably going to get fired if at least. So those three things are things that are very important to me.